So things are definitely intensifying for CD Projekt RED as they had an emergency investor call saying the cost of fixing Cyberpunk 2077 is irrelevant compared to restoring the company's reputation. Also, we're going to go over this entire emergency meeting right here. So a lot of stuff to dive into, including what's going on with DLC. And check this out right here. An angry dev apparently posted this in the actual game about Cyberpunk 2077. We're going to find out what he had to say. Plus, we're going to talk about how it's not as easy to get a Cyberpunk 2077 refund as CD Projekt RED suggested. So even more backlash related to the refunds. So welcome back, everyone. Open World Games here. Hope you're doing good, and let's dive straight in. Remember, I love reading your comments, so please leave a comment down below. Give your opinion. It could end up in a future video because, yep, I'm going over your top comments later on in this video. But let's talk about this investor emergency call or conference meeting, I should say, right now. Let's dive into it. It says, according to transcribed minutes of the chat, CD Projekt RED revealed its plans for future and addressed the current situation surrounding the controversial PS4 and Xbox One console launch of Cyberpunk 2077. Furthermore, they say, when asked about the cost of patching the game on console, Mikhail Nowalski, member of the board for publishing, said, the cost of patching the game is irrelevant compared to what we have at stake at this moment. So there's no question about it. We definitely want to fix the game. We made our promise to gamers, and we will be doing everything to stick to it. So they sound pretty serious right there. Now, they say this, Adam Kowinski, CD Projekt RED co-CEO, began talking about only showing the game on certain platforms before launch, saying that this has caused the loss of gamers' trust and the reputation that they've been building through a big part of our lives. He says, that's why our first steps are solely focused on regaining those two things. We are concentrated on fixing Cyberpunk on last-gen consoles. So they broke a lot of the trust that they have built up. That is, like, honestly, that is so important, especially in the gaming industry, because you guys know how many crappy launches there have been. I feel like they should have kept that trust. Let me know what you guys think about this one. I'm going to ask you a question. Sound off in the comments below. Do you think it would have been better if CD Projekt RED would have bit the bullet and decided to delay the PS4 base console version and the Xbox One base console version and just release the next gen version? Sound off. I really want to know what you guys think about that one for sure. All right, let's keep going. It says, all right, I think I already went over. Yes, I already went over that one. Let's do this one. It says, Kowinski also reiterated from a previous statement that was released yesterday regarding the current state of console versions, saying the first substantial set of fixes was released over the weekend. The next set of fixes will be released within the next 7 days. Big updates are planned for January and February, together with smaller fixes, of course. PC gamers will also be getting regular updates and fixes. We do everything possible to prove that we stick to our values. We truly hope that our efforts will let us rebuild the trust we have lost. This actually hurts hearing this because honestly, I love CD Projekt RED. I love their work. And yeah, I'm enjoying the game on PC. It looks absolutely stunning, as you can currently see right here. It is just beautiful. It's running pretty good. It does have problems with the base game. Again, I'm not going to reiterate those right now, but yeah, hopefully they can get this problem fixed for sure. Now, let's keep going. We're going to be talking about what is going on with DLC and multiplayer and how that's going to be impacted as well. And then we're going to go over that angry developer, what he had to say. So let's do this. It says here, at first picked up on Reddit earlier this morning on December 15th, Kowinski and other CD Projekt RED leads held an emergency meeting to address the launch of, okay, we already know that, though they apologized earlier this week. When asked about what might happen with the game's planned DLC and multiplayer component, Kowinski said that it's too early to judge, but added that it's ahead of us, so we don't know yet. We are now focused on improving Cyberpunk, and we'll discuss it early next year. That doesn't sound too good to me. That's a bummer to hear that DLC could be impacted right there. Honestly, I would prefer if they focused on fixing the base game and pulled people off the DLC momentarily to get this base game working properly. Furthermore, they say this about multiplayer. First and foremost, we haven't declared any date yet. And as I said before, it's hard to judge now. We're in a situation which wasn't planned. We'll have to reassess where we are, and that's the plan for January. So now we are managing the situation of the single player. We are working on patches and communication, and to refocus on gamers, we have to sit and discuss. So they got a lot of discussing to do right there. Now, a lot of you seem like you don't mind that they do this, that they focus on the current core game, as indicated right here. It says, I dearly hope CD Projekt RED takes the whole multiplayer idea away for a long time until they turn the game into something more stable and deliver the most promised features missing in the game. That got nearly, I would say, almost 20k upvotes, but 18.1k upvotes right there. I wouldn't be surprised if it's the 20k, but a lot of you want them to refocus their efforts on building the core game and keeping up with expanding this core experience. They've already revealed that, yes, in 2021, we will be getting a bunch of free DLC, much like The Witcher 3 did. So expect that sort of thing to be happening for sure in the future. Now, check this out. It says this: I found a shard in-game that really seems to convey the developer's opinion on this situation. Maybe there are more hidden messages. And this is really interesting. This comes apparently from one of the developers. And it kind of looks like it speaks to what's going on with Cyberpunk 2077. It says, just when we thought Macroware was done putting out unfinished games, we get this piping hot plate of spaghetti code. Frankly, I don't even know where to start. From the story mode, which feels like it was cobbled together from the half-baked ideas of 6 writers working in different time zones, to the non-intuitive tutorials, to the ridiculous lag that had me up making a fresh cup of coffee between each punch, and finally to the head-scratching localization foul-ups. Honestly, the dialogues makes no sense in any language. What the hell were they originally written in? Swiss? Let me know if anyone has noticed that in particular, problems with the actual language barrier. I'm not too sure, of course, with that one. I haven't heard that being an issue. Maybe it is. Maybe there's translation issues that I'm not aware of. But yeah, it seems like one of the developers snuck in their displeasure with the actual development process of this game. And I'm curious to see how the writing actually worked with this game. So, sound off. What do you think of the story with Cyberpunk 2077, at least from what you have experienced so far? I think it's actually pretty interesting for sure. With the story, and yeah, them getting Keanu Reeves in this game, I think really has helped big time. But let's go over your top comments. Let's do this. All right, so the first top comment comes from Gabriel Mercado, who says, LOL, I endured Battlefront 2's horrible launch. I can live through this. And KDEX says, if I can survive the launch of No Man's Sky, I can deal with this. So yeah, again, like I was saying, like I wasn't even mentioning in previous videos those games. I was mentioning more like Fallout 76, Anthem, but there's a lot of games that have rough launches. I'm sorry, I'm sick of it. Like seriously, it's just ridiculous. And it seems like there's practices in place that really protect publishers and developers from dealing, with the controversy. Of course, with Mass Effect 3, though, that was an interesting one, because they actually got into a legal situation where the Better Business Bureau was like, you have to take these steps no matter what, and they were forced to do things. So it looks like CD Projekt RED isn't wanting for it to go that far. They're being preemptive right now, and they're doing the work to fix this game. They have to fix it. All right. Donovan Martin says, at least they are owning up, where EA will just take the money and run amok. I think their stance is more on principle than cash with this apology. So it looks like a lot of you guys actually appreciate that apology that CD Projekt RED issued to the fans. Let me know what you make of that. But overall, it seems like you guys were like, oh yeah, okay. At least they're down with apologizing. And I've actually had people come into my stream saying that they've refunded the game successfully. So that's another note there. All right, Thermonuclear says this: I love this game too much, even with all the bugs on PC. Yeah, and I think that's a lot of that has to do with the fact that you're on PC. I'm also on PC. Sure, has bugs every now and again, but for me so far, it's more like Skyrim in terms of the bugs. I don't even know if it's as severe as Skyrim, but the police thing really bothers me. Like, it sucks that they just pop out in the middle of nowhere. All right, let's keep going. It says Timothy says this: playing on Xbox One X, it's running pretty good. The occasional crash, the occasional freeze, the occasional T-pose. No big deal. The occasional T-pose every now and again. Doesn't hurt. Yeah, that seems like the assessment for those that are on next-gen consoles as well. I've seen the T-pose happen as well. Alright, Ellis says this, playing on PS4 Slim, runs good enough to play, really enjoying the game despite a few crashes, but I play it for hours straight. And he's on the PS4 Slim, and the PS4 Pro versions, I guess, are faring better than the PS4, but even those, from what I understand, need some massive improvements. Furthermore, Mark says this, I blame the media for the issue with this game. CD Projekt knew the game wasn't ready, but everyone harassed and destroyed them every time they pushed the game back. I have my own opinions on that. CD Projekt RED, in my opinion, is fully responsible for this one. You know, if they were serious about releasing this game in a polished state, they wouldn't have, and they wouldn't have provided a release date. Like, that's the big thing. They should never provide a release date for the game. But I think it's more on the side of investors, not fans. I think the investors were like, hey, we got a lot of money tied up into this project. It's coming on to 8 years. Where's the game? Where's the results from this? I personally think that's what drove them to push the game. And then the combination of fans, of course, demanding the game, I think pushed investors to push for the game even more. So that's just my personal opinion, and they got into the situation where, like, well, we don't want to lose investors. We have to release the game now. But that's just my theory. Let me know what you make of that one. Alright guys, that's the video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for all the love and support. As always, I'm enjoying Cyberpunk 2077. I'm having fun despite the issues, like a lot of you have said. I do feel for you guys on the base consoles, though, PS4 and Xbox One. So I'll keep you in the know as to what's happening with fixes with those consoles. But stay tuned, and I will see you next time. Take care.